Hey everyone, it's Tikva and Rena here.
So today we're going to talk about that transition week between school and camp.
Welcome to the Mommy Life Squad podcast, where we're going to talk about
things that nobody wants to talk about.
All right, the countdown begins. Our kids end school.
Right.
In literally 3 days.
Just a few days. Yeah.
Wednesday?
Wednesday next week is the last day of school for our kids. And I'm sure for a lot of yours too. And we are just wondering about how we're going to keep them busy for that transitional week, right?
So we thought the perfect topic for this week's podcast is
how to stay sane. Well, a combination of that and what we found worked for us as far as like keeping the kids stimulated enough throughout that week. And for some people, it's even 2 weeks, right? Last year it was like 2 weeks.
No, that's after.
That's the after. Okay, so
yeah, here in Los Angeles, it's not like this in the East Coast, but in Los Angeles, there's like a huge break at the end of the summer, like 3.5 weeks off. So already by like August, the beginning of August, the kids don't have camp anymore, and then there's that break in between to school.
Right. So you might want to replay this podcast at the end as well. So, all right. So here we go. So I heard something like summertime equals screen time, and that's like horrible. We don't want our kids to be on the screen, right? So how can we avoid this? Because that is inevitable when moms go crazy and we've run out of all ideas and take them everywhere. And I don't know, we're just exhausted at the end of the day, but it's just not enough. I
know personally, like I think this is how it's going to play out in terms of screen time. I think it's going to be like a certain limit every day, maybe a half an hour every day. They get their screen time because otherwise they're harassing me. Can we watch? I'll give them their set half an hour.
Normally you don't do that though.
No, normally I have a once a week because they're in school all week. Right. But when they're home every single day, they're going to be asking for it. I know it's going to be coming. It's their off time.
Right. So yeah, that's very tricky for me because I read somewhere there's a study that says that like every time us too, when we're on our screen, we become very irritable, especially with kids. And after they finish their screen time, they're just like cuckoo. They're just crazy.
So that also has to do with all the shows nowadays. They're just overstimulating.
No, but even Tovido, which we looked into, and it was like very calm. And
I notice a difference though. There really is. Like they're saying some of the worst shows for kids, and this is like CoComelon, and most people play that for their little 1-year-olds.
It's horrible. Yeah.
It's really bad because it's just way too fast paced. The pictures are moving so fast. It's like overstimulating for them. So we want to try to avoid overstimulating shows because we don't want cranky kids during this week.
Right.
And we need not overstimulated kids.
And it happened to be like a new rule in our household for the last, I don't know how long, a couple of months now, that like we don't even show like CoComelon or anything like that. We only have Tovido or Yidflix.
So I tried that with my kids, and then they wanted their other shows. So we do a combination, both.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though I'd rather them stay on Tovido just because I trust it and I know it's reliable, but they have their shows that they like from before.
Right.
Daniel Tiger and all that.
Right. So moving past screen time. So let's say we have like a designated hour throughout the day, like or 45 minutes, whatever it is that you can like.
Also, everyone knows their own kids.
Yeah, everyone knows their own kids.
You know your family, you know your dynamics. Some parents are still working. They're working from home during that time, and they need that longer time period.
Right. But besides for that, we want to make sure that's like limited and controlled. Obviously, I think everyone would be on the same page. Nobody believes that being on the screen is beneficial. Although there are like learning apps that I used to use as like an incentive. So like education.com.
ABC Mouse. ABC Mouse is really good, yeah.
Starfall, education.com. Those were all like really good resources for helping them with their reading skills and math skills. Yeah. But I still consider that screen time. What do you think?
So it's different. It's very different. It is screen time.
They're so excited to do it.
But they're not watching a show, so it's different. It is different. I'd rather them do ABC Mouse. And I would let them do it for longer versus watching.
Right.
And also I think it's like it's like allowing their brain to work. It's different. It's different.
Right. Okay.
So that's another thing you could throw in there if you need something to keep your kids entertained. You're working. Try to get apps like ABC Mouse, and I know you have to pay for it, but I don't know if you know of other free ones.
Yeah, education is free, education.com. And Starfall, a lot of it is free, but then like some of it is blocked out that you have to pay for.
Yeah, I also want to throw something in here. I am a computer teacher, and I teach typing to my students. Mm-hmm. So a good way to actually keep them distracted and also learn something at the same time is typingclub.com. It's free. You don't even need an email to get started. You could just go on their website, and it's really, really good. And my students all really learn how to type from that.
Oh, that's cool.
Typingclub.com. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll look that up.
Okay, so now out of the screen time activities. Right. What can we do with our kids to keep them entertained? So me and Rena, when we brought up this topic to each other, Rena has different age kids than I have.
Right.
So it really she has to cater to her older kids, and her younger kids just have to follow along because
never.
they don't really have a choice.
Right. But I was gonna say that actually, if we rewind all the way back in I don't know, years ago when my youngers were the same age as Tikva's kids now. I used to have a very strict system in place that my kids really enjoyed doing. And it was they had incentives, obviously, but we would structure our day throughout that transitional period of time that they would have morning time, davening time, and then we had a summer homework reading time, whatever. They would have their homework packets, so the teachers come, send them with that. They would sit there for 1 hour. I literally put on a timer.
I don't think my kids would do that.
And
honest.
I set up a station in the
with
office
your
room.
5-year-old. Your 5-year-old would do this.
He would love it. My 5-year-old wanted it the most. The older kids were the ones who gave me a little bit of a harder time. But even the older kids would do it because they knew we wouldn't start our day without it. And then we would have an outing. So that once they did that, and I would put snacks on the table and they would enjoy it just idea. To keep it. But now, forget it. Out the window. I haven't done that in years.
Happens to be, I don't know if there's any other moms who can relate to this, but I have a child who will not learn from me. It's
she doesn't want to do homework with you.
Won't do homework with me. It's always been a struggle. I can't teach her anything.
And I was at your house and she was doing it with the tutor really nicely.
Right. It's with anyone else, it's fine. It's just with mommy. I guess it's
So your solution, you found a solution.
Right. But it took me a while to get to that solution. Yeah. Homework was always a struggle and everything was always a struggle until I'm okay, I have to give over that role, even though I was so excited for it. Yeah. Give that over to someone else because I just need, you need to save that relationship. I don't want to, it's not worth fighting with my kid.
Totally. And along the same line, I have a master's in reading. I'm a reading specialist and I had one of my kids who was struggling with reading, and I had to hire someone. I thought it was so funny that I could do, but she did not want to work with me, so I didn't have a choice. But you do what you have to do, right?
Right. So I'm curious if the hour of homework would work for my kids.
So listen,
I'll try it.
Yeah, you have a guest room, you set up a little table and chairs, and you put make it cozy and fun and. And you put on a timer.
I totally see my 2-year-old walking and messing up this whole thing.
Yeah, that's true. It's hard. Or you can give him a coloring,
right.
I don't know.
It's setting up the right ambiance for it. I think that's a big part of it.
The funny thing is that I miss those days so much. I would do it for I would totally redo it now, but my older 3 would laugh and walk away. They wouldn't even consider it. Not even for 5 minutes. So right. I'm not even gonna attempt.
Okay, so after the homework, what else? What else can we do during this week to keep our kids busy, entertained? And a lot of us, our husbands aren't home. Our husbands are working, and I know my husband's going to be working during this week.
Right. I mean, does the yeshiva have off? Coleman? I don't think they have off this week. It's not like a yeshiva week or something.
I don't think it's yeshiva week, right?
So everybody is on their own, really.
Most of us are on our own, and we have to kind of get through this time by keeping them busy. Happens to be, I think it falls out pretty well because it's just Thursday that they're off, and then Friday is already Shabbat, and then they have to keep them busy.
So everybody knows about scheduling doctor visits during this time. We all do that. That's why they're
doctor, dentist, anything you could schedule it now.
Yeah, it keeps them busy throughout the day, whatever it is. And then let's talk about lemonade stands.
Oh, okay. So originally, Rena's maybe lemonade stands. And I'm I absolutely hate lemonade stands. Maybe because my kids are 6, 5, and 2. Yeah. So it's me running the whole lemonade stand, not them.
Right.
They like to color in the lemonade stand sign. But then when we get to, I have to literally to make a lemonade stand I live in the middle of the block.
Yeah.
I get a wagon. I put a table in the wagon. I have to put the lemonade in the wagon. I have to put a kid in the wagon.
Yeah.
And literally schlep everything to the corner of the block.
Set it up.
And then I'll be okay, guys, now call everyone.
And they're too shy.
And they're no, you call.
So you're doing all the work.
I'm literally standing on the corner of the street, waving my hands. Guys, stop and buy my kids lemonade.
Right.
I'll give you money. Just take it.
And by the way, I'm just saying, because I've done lemonade stands with my kids so many times, if you do a free lemonade stand, you really get to, I mean, one year we collected, I think it was like $78, a ridiculous amount for like 2 hours standing for free. I don't even know. It was free. So people, they feel bad. They're like, oh, Nebuch, these kids are standing outside and it's a hot day. I'm going to give you $1 here.
I think if you do it for a cause also, it just makes it, if you're doing it, like do it for a cause, like for High Lifeline or for any organization that you want, your local shul.
Right. Right. So lemonade stands does not apply to me. My older kids would not do that anymore. My younger kids
I think they would.
No.
You don't think
Can
your
you
10-year-old?
imagine my shimmy doing a lemonade?
Your 10-year-old doing it?
No. He'll go door to door collecting money for an organization. But lemonade stand is like a little like child. Like it's for little kids, I think. I don't know. I could be wrong. My kids are not interested. My younger ones for sure are, but then like you, it requires me to be there and flag people down. And
well, it happens to be. You want to know the pro of lemonade stands? I have to give a shout out to my nephew, Shlomo Yoni. He is a pro. He built an actual wooden, like he built it himself, a lemonade stand. He actually had like this famous YouTuber drive by, and he actually stopped and he made a YouTube video with him.
Oh wow!
With him in the video, saying you have to come support this local lemonade stand.
That's so cute.
So he does he actually sells sodas and water bottles. So it's an actual like stand. Like he's actually selling
stuff. Okay,
stuff. So he's really like a pro.
That's so cute. Okay, I guess we also sold like cookies and pretzels and stuff like. I don't know if people really do that anymore, but another thing that I found that really worked is doing like chesed. So like I used to take, again, when my kids were younger, I haven't done this in years only because like it's just coming up to my memory now, and I would do it again. And I think I would convince my older kids now that my older son plays guitar, taking them to old age homes.
When you go, let me know, okay?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I think we should go together.
Yeah. It's a little scary at first because I think the kids, I mean, back then my kids would be like a little bit intimidated or nervous or like, you know, a little. We're not around old people a lot. I mean, maybe your kids are, but my kids aren't.
Right.
Like old people.
Well, my grandparents, yeah.
Yeah. But they really appreciated it. And for sure on the giving end, it's amazing. But like the kids really enjoy this little outing and it makes them feel so special.
Right. So I also like to think back during this time. I actually, like when we brought up this topic, I thought back during COVID when we were home literally all day with the kids. And honestly, like, just all the activities that I did with them. I did so many activities with them. I constantly had to, my kids weren't really in school. Like they did not want to go to the Zoom school.
Right.
So I had to think of activities to do with them all day.
Right. And you have a lot of like toys. Like you have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
She also, Tikva's like the type of person that buys everything and anything. So like her house is just she has a closet full of just stuff. So
toys.
like I can't imagine your kids getting bored. I don't know why they get bored.
Oh,
I mean,
toys?
I guess you have to like keep rotating your stuff.
So I do toy rotations are amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
So the thing with my closet, which I like
about toy rotations. What is that? Explain it.
So toy rotations are basically, let's say you have a playroom, you only bring out 10 of the toys, or 5, whatever you want.
Okay. 2 in my house. I don't have many toys.
Okay, like 5, 10, whatever you want of those toys, and the rest you put away.
Yeah.
And then depending on your family, but every week you switch it up.
Oh, I've been doing it like for like a month at a time.
Okay, whatever your
Doesn't
family.
matter.
It depends on It depends how often you want to change that entertainment. But it's just changing up the toys every month at a time, so that when they're sick of it, they have a fresh new toy waiting for them. Yeah. So my closet, my toy closet, the way it works is actually I put lower toys. I have like 4 shelves. So I switch up what I put on the bottom because they can only reach that. So they get sick of the toys on the bottom faster than what's on top. So that's kind of like a toy rotation, but not really because they can still see it.
That's a great idea. And then running out to the Dollar Tree to find all the arts and crafts and stuff that they can keep busy with.
Yeah, you can get so much from the Dollar Tree.
That's
like
true.
There's so many different arts and crafts you can do.
Right.
Another idea actually is a staycation, where it's basically like a mini vacation. It's not even called a staycation. Because staycation is like when you stay at home. Oh. So that's what a staycation is.
It's like a mini getaway.
Right, like a mini getaway.
But super mini. Like you travel an hour, you're in a hotel, and you're there for like a few nights. And again, we discussed the fact that most husbands have to be at work and it's hard for them or whatever. So it happens to be my husband, for example, his business is super seasonal. So he's like really busy during the summer months and he doesn't have time. So Tikva and I actually
last
summer we went with just the kids. So I mean, you have like another adult there, so it's not like you're alone, right?
It was 3 of us, 3 different.
Yeah,
4.
I brought a sister with me.
2 sisters.
two
Your
sisters.
two sisters
Oh
came.
yes. Two of my sisters, and Tikva, and we had such a nice time because the kids really like just had each other, and the moms had each other, and it was just so nice.
It was really nice. Yeah, we
Yeah.
rented an Airbnb and it had a pool.
And we split it, so like it
Yeah.
was great. Yeah, it was like, and then we also split the meals. It sounds like overwhelming because like people think like, oh my gosh, packing and traveling with all the kids, it's so like, how am I going to do it? But like when you have each other,
And
it's-
also, once you're there, fine. Maybe it is overwhelming until you get there, but
Right.
once you're there, it's fine because you have each other and you
Right.
really help each other out.
Yeah.
Like, and also, like, it's kind of nice. It's
Yeah.
like the kids have each other.
it's
and
a change of scenery, and it really like it's like it almost seems like it's a whole week because by the time you pack and by the time
Right.
you
If you go from Monday, like you leave
stretch it.
Monday night
Yeah.
and then you
Like you stretch
stay
it,
for
yeah.
2 nights or 1 night, whatever it is, it really ends up being a really nice vacation.
Right, you can like stretch it out. And then obviously the park. I mean, I don't know. My kids don't go to the park. Do your kids go to the park?
So my kids are. Irina was telling me that her kids were entertained at the park until they were like 10 years old.
Yeah.
My kids recently, maybe it's just a stage. Like my 6-year-old will start complaining about the park.
But that's
maybe it's-
normal, right? So like it's a new generational thing that like kids are just overstimulated. I'm telling you, like this is a new. We were just talking about this before the podcast started about how the generations have totally shifted and kids are just not interested in so many things that they were used to. My kids growing up at the same age as Tikva's kids now were so much more content with different things. Like they could be at that park for 2 hours and be happy.
Right.
Like
No.
they didn't even ask for that for the ice
So
cream man,
only
you know?
if my kids' friends are there, they'll
Then-
stay for a while.
Right.
But if they're not, they'll come to me, I think, after like 30, 40 minutes and be like, I'm bored. But also, I have to say that I do go to the same park. That could be why. Like, I just keep going back to the same park.
If
I
I
have to
wanna
find
change.
different parks.
Right.
I have to change it up. So I think that's something else I should consider.
Right.
Also, another thing which you forget about, which is a free resource, especially in, I don't know why I forget about it,
What?
the library. Like,
Oh, so my okay, so that's a sensitive topic because actually, my husband doesn't want my kids going to the library. So like,
Really?
it's yeah.
even the kids section, like my kids' age.
So like I have to like
You have
I my
older kids.
So if it's my younger ones, yeah, I would stay at the Beverly Hills Library. They have like a little cute play area, and you're sitting there with them, so they could you know what they're like
Also,
reading.
the
But
Beverly
now I
Hills
think-
Library in the transition week, they used to have like little shows. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I love those.
It was
shows.
so cute.
Yeah, they were so cute. They stopped that since COVID. But I'm just saying, I'm just gonna throw it in here. Like you never like today in today's day, like the kids' books are like so polluted. Like
Yeah, you have to be
can't-
really careful.
You really can't trust it. So
Especially the June month. You just got to be
Right.
careful wherever you go.
wherever you go. So like I don't know. My husband's like, no, don't. I'm like, oh, I used to love going to the library. And it used to be a safe place. I don't think it's safe anymore, unfortunately.
Also, unfortunately, we don't have a good library, a Jewish library in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
right?
we have a small one in a shul, but it's not like somewhere they could lounge and sit and read. Or
Right.
Yeah. And I would say the last thing, just to end off this podcast, I think it's so, I don't think, I know it's so important to just have self-care for yourself. So like these are it's going to be hard. We know that, and we're going to embrace that. And we all have each other's backs, you know, when it comes to this week, but
It's just like setting that time for
Yeah.
yourself. If you know your nights are free, then setting something like specific that you do for yourself. If it's a bath, if it's like you can't really go and get your nails done at night, but like something just for yourself, so you know that you're taking care of yourself too. And also like
Right.
in the morning, let's say like you do give that screen time in the morning, is really utilizing that time for yourself. Or if you're working or whatever, that's a different situation. But like just eating your breakfast then and making sure you're getting a good breakfast. And
Right.
and also, by the way, just throwing this in here, making sure your kids eat. I know it sounds silly, but like
Yeah.
kids are not grumpy when they eat.
Yeah.
So it's just making sure that they're eating consistently throughout the day. It's like always
Yeah.
giving them snacks, because if
Yeah.
they're full, they're gonna give you an easier time. But going back to self-care, is setting that time for yourself to just take care of your whatever it is you need. A run. Some people
Right.
like to exercise for self-care, and I think even if you don't like to, just do it because it's good
Right.
for you.
so Tikva is saying this because she has her kids sleeping at 7:00, so she could talk.
Okay, but
so
you have
proudly
an
about
older
this.
kid who could babysit, so you could
Yeah,
walk
but it's
out.
not-
You can go for a
I
run
cannot,
at night.
I cannot just walk out. It's just not possible. I can't. I have to like beg and take a number and wait in line till I get to escape. I can't. So for me, self-care would be like shout out to my mother-in-law who lives right behind me. I would literally call her and be like, oh, I'm like, just yesterday, I sent my kids were like in my ears and I was trying to get dinner ready. And I was like, oh, Mama Diane wants you, like, go. And they're like, really? She wants us? And I was like, yes, go quickly, go get something from her. And they went to her house and she wasn't home and they came back, whatever. But But the point is that they were out of the house for 10 minutes, and that was 10 minutes of quiet. So it was totally worth it. Yeah. So even with a friend, let's say like you could like do what's it called, swapping play dates.
Maybe you could do that, right?
Yeah, like get your kids out for and then have their kids and whatever. So at least you have like an hour, whatever. Even an hour can rejuvenate you.
Yes,
you know,
even 10 minutes can rejuvenate you.
100%.
I'm telling you, like if you're in a bad mood, going on a walk for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And just walking and getting fresh air by yourself can change your mood.
Totally.
Like completely.
Yeah.
So really self-care is important during this time. In general, self-care is important, but specifically during this time is taking advantage of it.
Right.
All right. Our time here is up today. We hope you learned something new and useful.
Yeah. And good luck on the transitional week coming up ahead, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to our Mommy Life Squad podcast.
And stay tuned for the next episode.